The day Abeni turned 18, the entire Mokola district of Ibadan gathered outside her mother's compound, not for celebration but for spectacle, because at 18 years old, her mother was still bathing her, not out of sickness, not out of disability, but out of pure legendary laziness. Ah, Mama, the water is too cold. Abeni whined, sprawled naked on a wooden stool like a sack of cassava. Women passing by froze. A bucket slipped from someone's hand. One goat stopped chewing. Mama Abeni, a woman shouted, clutching her wrapper. Is that not your daughter that wants to marry next moon? Her mother, Iya Morenike, sighed deeply, scrubbing her daughter's armpit like she was washing clothes at Ogumpa River. Yes, that is her. The compound erupted. Jesu, God forbid. Marriage to this one. Abeni yawned, stretched her leg, and said lazily, Mama, don't forget my back, oh. You always forget my back. At that moment, a loud, mocking laughter exploded from the gate. It was Baba Kunle, the village tailor. So this is the bride? He laughed. The one whose husband must carry sponge to the bedroom? The laughter spread like wildfire. Abeni's mother paused. Her hands trembled. Inside her chest, something cracked. But before we go deeper, if you love dramatic African folk tales that will shock you, teach you lessons, and make you laugh, this is your home. Subscribe now, like this video, and tell us in the comments, should parents do everything for their children, or are they destroying them? Abeni was not always this way. When she was born, the rain fell softly that night, and elders said, this child will live an easy life. They did not know how easy. From the day she could crawl, her mother crawled behind her, cleaning, lifting, carrying, serving. Abeni, sit, her mother would say. Abeni, eat. Abeni, don't stress yourself. If Abeni dropped a spoon, she screamed. Her mother picked it. If Abeni yawned, her mother fanned her. By age 7, other children fetched water. Abeni shouted from bed, Mama, I'm thirsty. By 10, other girls cooked. Abeni pointed at food. I want that one, but hotter. By 12, she stopped bathing herself. Why should I bend? She asked one day. My waist pains me. From that day on, Iya Morenike bathed her every morning. The village warned her. Too much love is poison, an old woman said, but love had already turned into chains. When Kunle Adeyemi, a hard-working cocoa merchant, came to ask for Abeni's hand, the village gasped. How did she hide her laziness? People whispered. Abeni smiled sweetly during courtship. She sat elegantly. She laughed softly. She pretended. On the wedding night, Kunle waited and waited and waited. Abeni, he called gently. From the bed, she replied, Can you help me remove my earrings? Kunle smiled. Then she added, And my dress. Then, my underwear. Kunle laughed nervously. Then she said the words that froze him. Can you bathe me? That's how my mother does it. Silence. Kunle stood up slowly. You're joking. She blinked. Why would I joke? That night, Kunle slept on the floor. By morning, the marriage was already bleeding. If this story is already surprising you, tap the like button and share it with someone who needs this lesson. Sometimes, love without discipline becomes a curse. Within weeks, Kunle's house became a battleground. Dirty plates piled up, clothes rotted, food spoiled. Abeni lay on the bed like a queen without a kingdom. When Kunle returned tired from the market, she said, Why are you angry? Just cook. One evening, he snapped, I did not marry a child. Her reply, Then take me back to my mother. He did. The disgrace was public. Women laughed, men shook their heads, children sang mocking songs. Abeni, the baby bride, her husband bathed her at night. Iya, Morenike wept until her eyes burned. That night she made a decision that would change everything. At dawn she woke Abeni. Wake up. Abeni groaned. Bath water. Her mother stood still. No. What? From today, you do everything yourself. Abeni laughed. Then her mother picked up her bag and walked out of the house. I'm done. The door closed. For the first time in her life, Abeni was alone. Have you ever been forced to grow up suddenly? Comment. Yes, if life ever pushed you when comfort failed you. Abini cried. She starved. She failed. She suffered. But suffering began to teach her things comfort never did. She fetched water with shaking hands. She scrubbed clothes until her fingers bled. She slept hungry. She learned, slowly. Pain shaped her. Months later, Ibada noticed something strange. Abeni walked upright. She worked. She spoke with strength. She cooked. She cleaned. She survived. When Kunle saw her again, he did not recognize her, and neither did the village. If you believe transformation is possible, subscribe now and turn on notifications. More powerful African stories are coming. For 3 nights after her mother left, Abeni did not sleep, not because of nightmares, but because hunger, shame, and fear kept her eyes wide open. The compound that once echoed with her lazy commands, Mama, bring water. Mama, fan me. Mama, bath me, was now silent, too silent. On the fourth morning, the sun rose mercilessly over Mokola, and Abeni lay on the mat, staring at the ceiling. Her stomach growled like an angry dog. She dragged herself up, staggered outside, and stared at the well. The bucket looked heavier than her entire body. She wrapped the rope around her palms and pulled. Halfway up, her hands slipped. The bucket crashed back into the well. She screamed. Tears poured freely. For the first time in her life, no one answered. By midday, the smell of rotting food filled the house. Flies danced freely. Abeni sat on the floor, weak. She remembered her wedding day, the drums, the laughter, the pride. Now she was a joke whispered behind her hands. Lazy girl. Useless bride. Her mother ruined her. The words burned deeper than hunger. That evening, rain fell. She stood outside, lifting her face to the sky, opening her mouth like a child. Rainwater became her first self-earned drink. She laughed, then cried, then laughed again. Something strange happened inside her chest. A small voice whispered, if you don't stand up, you will die. The next day, she tried again. She fetched water slowly. She spilled half of it. She bathed herself for the first time in years. It took 1 hour. Her arms ached. Her back screamed. But when she looked at herself in the cracked mirror, she saw something unfamiliar. Effort. That night, she cooked watery yam. It tasted horrible, but she ate every bite. Pain had started training her. Ibadan is a city that never keeps secrets. Women passing by slowed down. Is that Abeni fetching water? Ah, ah, wonders shall never end. Children peeped through fences. Men whispered. Some mocked. Some shook their heads. But every step she took made her spine stronger. One afternoon, as Abeni struggled with firewood, laughter erupted behind her. She turned. It was Kunle's cousins. Look at her, one shouted. Queen of laziness. Another added, go and call your mother to bath you. They laughed. Something snapped. Abeni dropped the wood, walked toward them. Her voice trembled, but did not break. Laugh, she said. I deserve it, but I will never beg again. They fell silent, and for the first time, she walked away with dignity. If you believe mockery can either destroy or build a person, type strength in the comments. Far away, Iya Morenike sat in her sister's house. Sleep avoided her. Her heart felt like stone. Every night she dreamed of Abeni crying. Her sister warned her, you loved her too much. I know, she whispered, but pain is teaching her what love failed to. Still, a mother's heart is never free. 6 months passed. Abeni now woke before sunrise. She worked at a local cassava mill. Her hands hardened, her body changed, her eyes sharpened. One day the mill owner said, you walk like someone running from her past. She smiled sadly. I am. Kunle came to Mokola unexpectedly. He had heard rumors. She's changed. She walks now. She's different. He did not believe them. Then he saw her, carrying a sack of gari on her head, sweat shining, posture firm, confidence quiet. She did not run to him. She did not kneel. She greeted him calmly. Good afternoon, Kunle, he swallowed. Good afternoon, Abeni. Silence stretched. Finally he spoke. I did not come to mock you. She nodded. I deserve no mercy. His voice softened. I came to see if the woman I married finally arrived. Do you believe people truly change, or do you think it's just pretending? Tell us in the comments. That night, Kunle watched her cook, watched her clean, watched her stand on her own feet. But something had changed in him too. Pain had taught, both of them. I will not carry you again, he said quietly. She replied firmly, I will never ask. They stared at each other, not as husband and child, but as equals. Kunle's words hung in the air like thunder. You must leave Ibadan for 1 year. Alone, work, survive. Return only if you can stand without leaning on anyone. Abeni did not cry. The old Abeni would have screamed, collapsed, begged. This one simply inhaled. Where should I go? She asked. Kunle looked surprised. There is a place near Abeokuta, a stone quarry. No pity there. She nodded. When do I leave? Tomorrow. At dawn, Abeni tied her wrapper tightly, slung a small bag over her shoulder, and walked out of Mokola without looking back. No mother, no husband, no protection. The road was long, the sun brutal. By the time she arrived at the quarry, her legs trembled. The overseer laughed. You? He scoffed. Stones don't respect soft hands. She bowed. They will learn to. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Her palms split, her back stiffened, her body screamed, but her spirit refused to bend. She woke before the men, worked harder, spoke less. Some mocked her, some admired her. One day, a rock crushed her foot. She screamed, then stood up and continued. That night, she wept quietly, not in weakness, but in release. 6 months in, sickness struck, fever, cold, delirium. She lay on the ground, shaking, no mother to sponge her body, no husband to call her name. Only the moon watched. She whispered, God, don't let me die unfinished. By morning, she lived, and living became her victory. 1 year passed. Abeni returned to Ibadan barefoot, muscular, calm. The village froze. Women whispered. Children stared. Men nodded with respect. She went straight to Kunle's house. She did not knock. She stood. When Kunle opened the door, he gasped. She placed her bag down. I am home, she said. Kunle tested her silently. He watched. She cooked without complaint. She cleaned without pride. She walked without rest. One evening, he pretended illness. She cared for him without dependency, without laziness, without fear. That night he knelt. Forgive me, he said. I married a child. I meet a woman today. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Not weakness, freedom. Aya Morenik arrived days later. She saw her daughter. She collapsed. I failed you. Abeni lifted her gently. No, Mama, you love me. Pain finished the lesson. They wept together. Ibadan changed its stories. Mothers warn their children. Love them, but don't cripple them. Abeni became a teacher, a voice, a warning, and proof. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. More powerful African folktales await you. But the story of Abeni of Mokola did not end with her return. In Ibadan, a changed woman is tested more than a broken one. People forgive weakness faster than they trust transformation. Though Kunle accepted her back into his home, the city did not accept her back into its heart so easily. At the market, whispers followed her. That's her, the lazy one. She has only acted well for now. Some women refused to buy from her stall. Others watched closely, waiting for her to fall. Abeni noticed everything. She said nothing. Pain had taught her silence. Kunle himself still watched, not with suspicion, but with fear. Fear that the old Abeni might return. One night, after a long day, he left dirty plates intentionally. The old Abeni would have ignored them. This one washed them quietly. Another night, he delayed food. She cooked without complaint. Weeks passed. His fear slowly melted. One afternoon, a messenger arrived. Kunle Adeyemi, you are invited to the family council gathering. Abeni's chest tightened. That council had mocked her marriage, humiliated her mother, destroyed her pride. Kunle hesitated. You don't have to come. She straightened. I must. Under the Iroko tree, elders sat, women stood, men whispered. Abeni walked in calmly, heads turned. One elder cleared his throat. So, this is the girl who could not bathe herself. Laughter tried to rise. It died halfway. Because Abeni did not bow in shame, she bowed in respect. Yes, she said, and this is the woman who learned. Too late, but learned fully. Silence fell. She spoke without anger, without tears. I was lazy because I was protected. I failed because I was carried. But pain taught me what love forgot. Even elders shifted uneasily. If this moment gave you chills, pause and hit the like button right now. Stories like this deserve to be heard. Iya Morenike stood up. Her voice shook. I ruined my child with kindness. Let other mothers learn from my mistake. Tears rolled freely. Women wiped their faces. That day pride died, wisdom was born. Abeni did not stop at survival. She began teaching young girls how to cook, how to work, how to stand. She told them stories of hunger, of loneliness, of pain, not to scare them, but to prepare them. Just when peace settled, Kunle fell ill, severely. Doctors were expensive, money vanished, old temptations returned. Some whispered to Abeni, leave him, he left you once. She remembered the coal quarry nights and stayed. She sold goods, worked nights, carried burdens, this time for love, not dependency. Kunle recovered and cried like a child. One morning, market women gathered. They brought gifts, food, cloth, forgiveness. We misjudged you, they said. Abeni smiled softly. I misjudged myself once too. Years later, children ran through Mokola shouting, be strong like Abeni. Her name became a proverb. Her story became a warning. Her pain became a gift. If this story changed how you see parenting, growth, or discipline, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this story. Comment, I choose growth.